Hello, everybody. My name's Jared Altick, and I'm here with Kaleb Sackett.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Kaleb. I have another game for you today.
Nice. I like games.
Okay. Let me introduce it here. Welcome back to another edition of Inside Kaleb's Brain. This is a quiz that I prepared of not so random trivia, 95% of which I did not know, and 95% of which I'm pretty sure is somewhere inside Kaleb's brain.
Although last time, wasn't it like less than 50%
Well,
was inside Caleb's brain?
Your mileage may vary. All right. Today we are playing, drumroll please, Curated Trivial Pursuit.
Ooh.
So what I did is I found some old Trivia Pursuit cards that I'm fairly confident come from the 1980s. And I went through a small stack of them, and I thought, it was all based on one single factor. Is this inside Kaleb's brain? And so I took a guess, took a flyer. I may or may not be correct, but is this inside Kaleb's brain? Now, Kaleb, this is not meant to trick you, but it will be fun to see if the rest of us know any of the things that are inside Kaleb's brain.
It's true. And you've known me for enough years now that maybe you can make some educated guesses.
And could you keep score for me?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay? So there's going to be 21 questions. I'm going to have you keep score of how many you get correct. And everybody playing at home can also keep track, see how well they do. All right. First question. Now, this is random, but they are Trivial Pursuit cards. So you have geography, entertainment, history. I think it's arts and literature, and then science and nature, and sports and leisure.
All right.
Okay. So this first one is history. What were the alleged last words of Julius Caesar?
Alleged, according to Shakespeare, would be et tu, Brute.
That is correct. That is correct.
Which
All
means, and you, Brutus?
Yes. Yeah. Best friend stabbed him in the back.
After everybody else stabbed him in the back first.
Yeah. I mean, everyone else was doing it. So, yeah. All right. Now, sports and leisure. What are raced in Greek and Roman hippodromes?
Chariots.
Specifically,
horse-drawn chariots.
Yeah, horses. Yeah.
Well, I was going to give you the factoid on this. Yeah, when I was in middle school, I used to wonder, why is it called the hippodrome? Well, it's because the hippopotamus is actually named after the horse.
Right.
Because
exactly.
the word hippos is the Greek word for horse, and if you like Mesopotamia, the potamus part is river. So literally, a hippopotamus is a river horse.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, but you don't get any extra points for that.
Nope.
Okay.
Just the one.
So you got two. All right. This is question number 3. What Detroit-based record company was founded by Berry Gordy Jr. in 1963? Detroit-based record company.
I know the name of it. It just has to... Oh, is this Motown Records?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. That's correct. Very good. All right. Question number 4, the sports and leisure. Where is the Rose Bowl played?
I believe Pasadena, California.
That's correct. Good job. All right. Next question. This one is also sports and leisure. What do you call a poker hand with 5 cards of the same suit?
Just want to make sure here. Of the same suit.
Yes.
That'd be a flush.
Yes, that's a flush.
Yeah.
Correct. Good job. All right, you're knocking all these out. I mean,
Doing
granted,
okay.
I was pretty confident these were inside Kaleb's brain, but so ideally, you're going to get 21 out of 21, right?
We're going for it.
All right. Who appeared in more, this is entertainment, who appeared in more than 30 Alfred Hitchcock films?
Ugh, you might have gotten me on this one.
Who appeared in more than 30 Alfred Hitchcock films?
I mean, that's a lot of films.
Yes.
But it's got to be obviously seems like a popular actor, more than likely. See, I feel like there's a name that's stuck in my mind, and I just don't know if it's right. But I'm going to go for it anyway. Marlon Brando?
No.
Who are we going for here?
No. The correct answer is Alfred Hitchcock.
Really?
He cameoed.
Is he like the Stan Lee of Alfred Hitchcock movies?
He cameoed in every... Stan Lee's the Alfred Hitchcock of Marvel Comics.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, he cameoed in just about every film. I don't know if his early British films, if he was in every one of them, but once he started making films in Hollywood, that was his signature thing, is that he would just be in a crowd scene or just a passing, he'd pass through every film.
That's obviously a trick question, but now that you say it, it's like, oh, duh. That was
Right.
kind of like an obvious
Well,
trick
the
answer.
30 is what I mean.
So many, yeah.
Actor and a director to work together on 3 or 4 films
It's quite
is
a
like
lot.
a lifetime of work together.
Yeah.
So 30 is
Yeah.
just astronomical
For sure.
And so
that's what I was thinking. I was like, 30 movies? I didn't even know he made 30 movies.
I was hoping you would deduce that, and so you disappointed me, but that's okay. That's all right. All right. So science and nature. What's AM in the abbreviation? What is it an abbreviation for, as in 10 a.m.? What does the AM stand for?
Man, I really don't know if I actually know this. I'm sure I've looked it up before, but...
Test your Latin skills here.
Yeah. Well, if you say that, that almost makes me think that A stands for ante, like ANTE. But what does the M stand for? I mean, clearly it surely has to do with the division of the day, because the AM part is from midnight till noon, and the PM part's from noon till midnight.
Right.
So it almost would have to be... So we're talking... No, if it's ante... It's got to be based around noon then. Whatever the word for... So it's like moon... No, that's world. I don't know. What's the Latin word for... Is the Latin word for day? Is that what it is? Or no? Then I don't know. I'm not sure.
Ante meridium.
Meridium. Is that supposed to be like the middle?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I see.
Okay.
Meridium.
Yep. And then post meridium would be PM.
Which, of course, is also like why it's the meridian, like we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
In the geography sphere of things.
So you're 5 for 7 so far?
I am. I'm on a losing streak, though. I need to get back on the horse.
It's all right. All right. Well, this one I'm not sure if you'll know. It's entertainment. How many Lords a-Leaping are there in the carol 12 Days of Christmas?
Well, I can deduce this.
Okay.
12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping, 10 Lords a-Leaping. There's 10.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, there is. Very good. I don't think I could have done that.
Well, there's 9 maids a milking, 8 ladies dancing, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying. Of course, there's 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and that darn partridge in the pear tree, Jared.
Oh, man. God bless you. Okay. Yep. And next question, sports and leisure. What's the green monster at Boston's Fenway Park?
Well, it's a wall, but specifically it's like it's the scorekeeping wall. The old, they have an old style system where it's not an electronic board. They actually like put up white numbers inside of to show you what the scores are.
You know what side it's on?
Well, it's left, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, left field wall.
Yeah.
That's correct. Excellent. Very good. All right. Now, this is geography. What U.S. state contains the counties of Macon and Bacon?
Well, I know for a fact there's a Macon County, Missouri, but there's probably Macon counties everywhere. There's a Macon County, Georgia, Bacon County.
Macon and Bacon.
Well, because you think it's in my brain, I'm going to say Missouri.
That's incorrect.
What is it?
It's Georgia.
It was Georgia.
Yes, yeah.
Well, at least I get brownie points for knowing there's a Macon County, Georgia.
See, I didn't know there was a Macon County, Missouri.
Oh, well.
and so that was unintentionally deceptive. I didn't realize that might actually hit close to home for you. All right. Sports and leisure. Which Risk player wins tied dice rolls? The attacker or the defender?
It's been like over a decade since I played Risk.
Who wins the tie, Mr. Board Game Person?
I am going to guess. Let me put it this way. If it's a good game, and I don't know that Risk is a good game, it probably isn't. If it's a good game, they want to incentivize people to attack. So if it's a good game, it should be that the tie goes to the attacker. So I'm going to say attacker.
Because it's an old game and American board games from back in the day.
Who knows? I'm going to say attacker.
Bad design. You're going to say attacker?
I'm going to say that they made the good choice here.
You would be wrong.
Man, ties go to the defender.
Tie goes to the defender.
That's such a gross rule.
Which is why Risk games last for
forever.
Hours. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that is a thing. You're kind of a board game aficionado. That's something that at some point European board game makers figured out that American board games would benefit from some rule tweaks.
Yes.
And from some design decisions being different. And so when did that happen approximately?
Well, the Eurogame craze started in like the 90s, essentially. Well, it's technically before that, because before they were Euro games, quote unquote, it really started in Germany is where it started.
Okay.
And it was post World War II.
Okay.
And we're like, because American games have a tendency to be really combat oriented and let's chuck a bunch of dice and stuff like that. Whereas Euro games tend to be more like, we're all kind of doing our own thing. We're building engines. We're getting victory points.
Okay.
And it was post World War II. And it was like, we just had this whole devastation thing happen with the Nazis and all that. Let's not be super combat oriented in our games.
Okay.
Let's make something constructive and build something. But you're right. And then in the 90s, that's when Settlers of Catan was published in 1996. And that game was a hit. Like, it sold millions of copies.
Yes.
And
that's a game that Americans are probably pretty familiar with.
Probably. You've probably heard of games like, it's now just called Catan or Ticket to Ride.
Right.
But there's a game I actually played with your sons a few months ago where you are basically only incentivized to attack. Like, if you defend and you're victorious, you don't get anything good. And the attacker has basically nothing bad happen to them. They have to move backwards a space.
Right.
And if you attack and you win, then you destroy your enemy's ship. You get to go up a few like different prestige points or whatever, and it's only good for you. It's just like you're incentivized to attack.
But that's a design decision.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And in Risk, giving the benefit of the doubt to the defender slows down the game, or the goal of the game is to conquer all the territory on the map.
Yeah, maybe I should have thought old game. Yeah, they made a bad rule choice here.
All right. Sports and leisure again. What sport is known as the grand old game?
The grand old game? Yeah, I feel like I don't know this. Because I feel like baseball's called America's pastime, not the grand old game.
America's pastime may be more recent.
Give me a clue here.
No. The grand old game. And this is a clue from 40 years ago, but it's
I'm going to take a shot in the dark here. Like real sort of out there.
Okay.
I'm going to say polo. Like on horseback.
Sure.
Which I'm wrong, obviously, because you haven't told me I'm right.
No, that you're way off base. No, it's baseball.
It was baseball?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So I was just overthinking it. I didn't know that it used to be called that. No one ever calls it that now, I feel like.
Art and literature. What measured 300 by 50 by 30 cubits?
300. Say them again. I think I know the answer, but
what measured 300 by 50 by 30 cubits?
I'm pretty sure this is the ark that God asked Noah to build.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's correct. Noah's Ark. Very good. All right, this is history. What battle was a horse named Comanche the only losing survivor of? A horse named Comanche. The only of the losing side, literally the only survivor was a horse named Comanche.
Is this going to be like the Battle of Little Bighorn?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Well, I was trying to think of like an absolute massacre.
Yeah,
basically.
Custer's Last Stand. Yes, absolutely. I've actually seen this horse. This horse was taxidermied.
Like in person?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Was taxidermied. And I don't recall if that's in the museum in Topeka or maybe in the museum up at Fort Leavenworth.
Huh.
But this horse is taxidermied. It's in its full kit and everything, and it's really kind of neat because this was a horse from one of Custer's soldiers that was the only survivor of that disaster.
That is interesting.
Yeah. All right. Back to sports and leisure again.
Okay.
I had several of those in this selection. What are the three components of baseball's Triple Crown?
Right. So the batting Triple Crown, because there's also a pitching Triple Crown, but when you say the Triple Crown, it's batting.
Okay.
It's going to be batting average, so who has the highest, and if you also have the most home runs, and if you also have the most RBIs.
Batting average, home runs, and runs batted in. That's correct. Good job. All right. What's your score right now?
Right now, I am 12 of 16 is what I've got here.
12 of 16.
So 75%.
All right.
Not quite the 95% you promised the audience, but I'm doing okay. I'm holding my own.
All right. What Italian landmark has 296 steps? This is geography. What Italian landmark has 296 steps? So that's, almost 30 flights of stairs.
I mean, the only one that comes to mind that makes sense to me is the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
That's correct. That's correct. Good job. All right. Science and nature. What is a Canis lupus?
Wouldn't that be a werewolf? But I mean, well,
Canis.
it's an actual.
lupus.
It's an actual. So this is an actual.
It's a scientific name for
scientific
an animal.
name.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some kind of. I mean, literally, it's like moondog. So is it? We're talking like fox here or Canis lupus?
You are so close.
I don't know what the lupus
A
technically is
moondog.
getting at. Yeah, I know. So, a wolf?
Yes.
Okay, a wolf. Yeah, duh. It howls at the moon. Well,
Yes.
That's why I said werewolf initially. I was like,
Yeah.
literally, those are the two words for dog and moon. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good job.
Okay.
Good job. All right. What does this is science or sports and leisure rather. What does a philatelist collect?
Can you spell it?
Philatelyst. Philatelist. What does
so
a
little to go off
philatelist?
there because the phil part just means that they happen to like it or love
Right.
it.
Right.
So the ATE is the part that I've got to
And this is a trivia
lock in
question that
on.
almost always runs the opposite direction. A person who blank or blankety blank 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 blank
Is called-
is called a what? And you have to come up with.
Did you
what
say they
philatelist.
collect something? Is that what you said?
What does a philatelist collect?
Man. I'm just trying to think of the Greek here, and it's not coming to me. So I'm just going to have to pass on this one. I don't know it.
Any collector?
All right, fine. I'll
type
go
things
for
out there?
post stamps.
That's correct.
Is it
Stamps,
really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. A stamp collector is a philatelist.
Okay.
Yep. That's a common trivia question. All right.
I mean, it pretty much had to be that or spoons, right? Something like that.
That's because that back in the day, I mean, before
Stamp
1980,
collectors.
that's the only thing people could possibly have collected are spoons and
Yeah,
stamps,
I wonder
right?
if my children are going to be like, wait, people used to collect stamps? What is that all about?
Yeah. Okay. What vocalist for The Doors died of a heart attack on July 3rd, 1971? Vocalist for the group called The Doors.
What year did you say he died?
1971.
Man, I always forget this dude's name. I just don't listen to The Doors, really.
don't know him?
It's not a
See, I
band that I
thought you
know a
might.
lot of. But you're going to say his name, and I'm going to recognize it. So I'm just going to pass again. I don't know it.
Jim Morrison.
Morrison.
Yeah.
I knew it was a very simple Jones Smith kind of thing.
Sure.
Jim Morrison. Yeah.
All right. Sports and leisure again. How many innings constitute an official baseball game?
I believe it's, it's either 4.5 or 5. I think it's 5.
5 is
Yeah.
correct.
And the reason I kind of knew that is because after although I don't think you have to go the full 5 for it to count. Either way, I can't remember. In the 5th inning at some point, whenever the game was an official game, is when they paused the game that Cal Ripken Jr. broke the record for consecutive starts in a baseball game. Did you know about this?
No,
He was called the Iron Man of
Yeah,
baseball because he played 2,000 something consecutive games without injury, without missing a day, without taking a personal day.
But once they reach the official, this now counts.
Paused the game and did a whole little mini ceremony sort of thing, and then resumed the game.
In
after
theory,
that.
they might do that for any kind of record. That
You could, although it would have to be
That-
games based,
right. That's based on how many games. Right.
Right. Yeah.
So once you pass 5 innings, now it's an official game.
Right.
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So-
Awesome. All right. So we have one last question, and what's your score?
Well, I hope I've been doing it right.
Or is it just one more?
I've got 16 here that I say that I've gotten right, but I might have actually done another extra tick. So I'm either at 15 or 16.
Okay. So doing pretty good. See how people are doing at home. All right. Last question, science and nature. What does a conchologist study?
Is it CONCH?
CONCH.
I'm going to guess shells.
Yes, it's correct. Shells and mollusks. Very good.
Apparently that word it really should be pronounced conch, but a lot of people do pronounce it conch, and they're both accepted now.
Yeah. What is it down in Florida? You go down to the Florida Keys and they call themselves the Conch Republic. But I guess I don't know. I've only seen the sign. And so I don't know if
What
it's
they
conch
say?
or conch or something else.
Well, you see that sometimes though, because people, they don't know like the Latin or Greek origins of things sometimes. And
Yes.
so a lot of people not knowing certain words, like they'll pronounce the word chasm as chasm.
Right.
You know,
right,
like you see things
right.
like that
Or
sometimes.
like any of the Missouri place names that are from French.
No doubt, right?
It's like, well,
No
we'll
doubt.
just go out on our own here with the pronunciation.
Versailles.
Idiosyncratic to us. It's
Yeah.
Very good.
I think I got either 16 or 17.
6 out of 21. Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. Well, no prep, no warning, and trivia is so that, I mean, you just never know what you're going to get.
Although
so.
you did cater those questions fairly well to me, I have to say.
I thought, maybe it's not a measure of your trivia. It's a measure of how well I think you might know different topics, right?
Exactly.
Well, thank you very much for playing, Caleb.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for having me, Jared.